Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty.
Hello there. Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Brink of Sanity, episode 403. I am Jay, and with me is Bri and the Doc. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
You, Doc, you like having your secret identity, but you have your full name on Zoom. So, cover blow as soon as the show starts.
I don't really care, but
Okay, so we can reveal your name finally after
It's an
400
alias.
episodes.
I think now it was more just like as just having a nickname. Like it doesn't have to be a
Okay,
hidden.
we've slipped your name in so many times by accident anyway. I guess doesn't really matter.
I'll change it. All right.
Are you gonna change it to the Doc and then
There you go.
and then forget to change it back when you have like a work Zoom meeting?
Yeah, I don't actually. I think my work makes us use Teams, so I don't have to use this for work. Luckily.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
All right, so yeah, I have a couple things I was going to talk about today. Another show did a show about us. I wanted to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I saw that. Or listen. Actually, yeah, it was a YouTube, right? I think.
Yeah. Bry's going to tell us about one of his edible experiences. Did you
Imagine having that kind of time that you're going to do a show about this show.
I mean, we might as well just jump into it. It was
Yeah.
called Who Are These Podcasts? And every week they do like a roast on another podcast. So they pick this.
Which is actually a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. And it so happened we had just recorded our 400th episode, which was a bad episode. Probably should have either edited it or just like threw it away. So that happened to be the episode they found. They found that and they listened to one other one, which is actually a decent one. And they had almost no comments on the decent one. I
kind of felt like the idea is good. Like I don't mind like what they were trying to do, but like their arguments seemed like, it's like I don't think there's a lack of things to make fun of, but like they picked the weirdest things to kind of comment on, and
it was
like,
not
strange.
a great roast. I was expecting like buckle up. This is going to be like the longest 40 minutes. A lot of their jokes were like these guys don't get girls, which is like low hanging fruit. We're all in relationships anyway, but the guys who
these weren't like studs, like like that are like
What are we
drowning
back
in
in
girls.
college?
well, also like the guys who were saying that, I was like, you guys aren't any better looking than we are. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking
It was
about?
like-
So anyway, a lot of their comments from their listeners on their YouTube page said it was a fairly crappy roast, and they have a lot more ratings on iTunes, so they have a lot more listeners, but they're averaging 3.3 out of 5 stars. So I don't know if that's all just from people they made fun of giving them 1 star, but they have a shitty
I
average.
mean, I think like making fun of podcasts like would be a good podcast, but it just wasn't one.
Yeah, I think maybe they do a better job with other ones. I don't know. There was some good critiques. Announcing what you're going to talk about at the beginning, like a real show, I thought was a good pointer. And then not talking about nothing but depressing material during a comedy show. I didn't need to be told that, but
Isn't that our shtick?
well,
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little too much the last few episodes. So that
Some of them were like they'd show clips of like you making fun of yourself, and then they're like we'd make fun of that, and it's kind of like you're already making fun of yourself, so it's like
right, yeah. I mean, we did our job. Like,
What was episode 400? Was I on that one?
yeah, and then we were just talking about like depressing things and war.
Was that just the
and,
two of us, or was Mark on that one?
Mark was on that one, and then
Oh, all right.
and then the one that was decent was the one where we were supposed to get a writer on as like a guest, and he didn't show up, so Mark pretended to be the writer, and he only spoke in quotes from his website. and that was actually a pretty funny bit.
Well, it's during the writer's strike.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious how they found your like how did they choose your podcast?
Well,
'Cause,
that's what I
mean,
wrote back to them. They tagged me on Twitter and sent me the link to the podcast, and I said the most impressive thing about that roast is that you were able to find the show to begin with.
That's pretty funny. No, I mean it is a question because it's like I think most podcasts don't get a following because like no one ever knows they exist, and probably this one too. Like,
Yeah,
how did they find it, and like how can we make other people find it?
I have no. If I knew that, we'd not be in the state we are right now.
It's probably like an elaborate scam with like all of like the people who email you. They probably put together the other show.
I just wonder if it was like one of your listeners, like just like
Yeah.
you review this one. That's what I kind of suspect.
Yeah.
Set up. Yeah, it could be. Some of the shows that get popular, I feel like they're just industry plants, like that.
Yeah. I mean, all the top podcasts that you like, if you search for, like, they're all like associated with like big networks and things like that.
Well, like that blonde girl that interviews the rappers and just like has like a deadpan. Like she came out of nowhere and she's everywhere. She's like interviewing like Drake and stuff, and I'm like, there's no way.
That's your dream.
Yeah. There's like no way this girl came out of nowhere and got these interviews. Like something's fishy about that. Speaking of Drake, this is like some weird musical hell we're living in. So Drake just set the record for most #1 singles. He just tied, I think he just beat Michael Jackson. And the top 100 charts.
He's still making music?
Who, Drake?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just came out with it. He comes out with an album like every 6 months.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So on the top 100 charts, he's had 320 songs. And I looked at his discography. That's like twice as many songs as he has. So like I don't even know how this works. Like, is it every time he guests on a song, or like
What if there's like a greatest hits and then like does it count again?
but like every song he's ever recorded has hit the top 100? Streaming is messing up all the stats. I think that would be
I don't know. I don't know the name of any Drake songs. I don't think I could. If you played me a Drake song, I would know a Drake song.
I
One
only
of the
know
names-
Started from the Bottom
Drake?
because I find it to be the most ironic song of all time because he was a childhood star. So
Did he name a song Drake? Because that could be a song.
well, there was that Sprite commercial where he had to drink Sprite to remember how to rap his own name, which was my first Drake experience. So I thought he was a joke. I was like, no, this is like a parody that Sprite's doing. I didn't realize he was like an actual like rapper or celebrity for years. I'm still not positive
like,
it's not an.
Are there
elaborate
like
thing.
secret messages in his raps? Like I don't get it.
Well, I think the fact that they're counting streaming is messing everything up. That would be like counting every time Michael Jackson was on the radio or like on MTV. Like counting individual streams is a little weird.
How did they used to do it before streaming? Was it radio plays or
No, it was sales.
oh like sales, right?
Yeah.
Oh right, because instead of yeah, I guess yeah,
I think the
right.
radio play was part of it too, but I think it was mostly sales.
Yeah, I guess like the gold platinum stuff, like
Yeah.
that was sales. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that hasn't been like the way most people listen to music for a while, probably.
Yeah, I just think they should separate it. It's like doing the movies by box office instead of ticket sales. It's like, yeah, movies are $20 a pop now, and you're
Yeah.
Yeah,
comparing it to like
streaming can be
25 cents.
misleading because like if you have like a playlist and you just keep listening, like a lot of people just get like used to just listening to the same thing over and over. I mean, I guess you could do that with regular music, but
Well, people are
like
doing like putting songs or artists on loop to be at the top of the charts. If you look at Spotify, like the Taylor Swift
yeah,
charts, somebody has like 100,000 hours listened to Taylor Swift, and it's like they're clearly just looping it in the background 24 hours a day to be at the top of the charts. Nobody's listening
And
to
they're
it.
also probably 13.
Yeah.
yeah.
As if somebody's
You could
gonna
also
look up the charts and be like, "Oh, that person's awesome." They listen to a lot of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
you could also like step away from whatever device, like you could have it on your phone and then it's like people could probably just leave it on,
Well, that's
like
what they're doing.
not even
Clearly.
intentionally,
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird world we live in. So yeah, that was that with the. Do you have any more comments on that podcast? It wasn't. I was expecting.
I kind of wanted. I wanted to laugh, but it was hard to. I wanted to be funny.
Yeah, yeah. Funny would have been good. They prepared a lot. They just, it just
they really watched it.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. Just didn't really deliver a lot. So, all right. Anyway, Bri, I want to hear your story about edibles. So, when I lived with Bri, I smoked so much pot, and Bri refused, and now I stopped, and now Bri's popping edibles like it's candy.
No, I've only done a few. I've only done maybe like a couple months ago. I was in Boston at a dispensary, and I bought a pack of stuff that's supposed to help me sleep. Not really. Didn't really work. So people have been giving me stuff to help me sleep. My father just passed away about a month ago, so some of my friends have been giving me edibles because I'm like, oh, just help. I need something to help me sleep. So people are just giving me things. So this girl I work with, who's a huge pothead / edible expert, all that stuff, she's like, I'll take care of you. I'll give you something. So she gave me these little, they look like bears. I don't know what they are. She said, don't eat the whole thing. Split it in half or like a third.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna really put you down. I was like, all right. So I was like, do you mean like put me to sleep, or do you mean, just make me like a zombie on the couch or whatever? She's like, well, you'll see what happens. So 2 weeks ago on a Sunday, I was like, all right, I'm tired. I got nothing to do. It's 6 o'clock at night. I'm just going to take it. If I go to sleep, I go to sleep. Mm-hmm. So I ripped it in half and I ate it. And I was like, all right, let's see, what's going to happen. In about 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure I went through the entire spectrum of like things that happen to you, like when you smoke pot, in like a very short amount of time. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching football, and all of a sudden I got like really like, I just kind of chill, just relax. I was like, all right, it's going to be like that. It's kind of cool. And then like a minute later, I got like giggly. I saw like a commercial and I just started laughing. I was like, oh, like whatever. And then a couple of minutes went by, and I was kind of just like, it's kind of dark in here. Like, I can't really see. What is going on here? And I got up and I went, and then I started getting dry mouth. So I went up, I got some water. I come back, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching football. And I freaked out. I was like, I can't find the fucking remote. Where's the remote? So I'm like tearing up the couch. I'm yelling at the dog. I'm like, I can't find the remote. Then I found it under the couch. It had fallen. I knocked it over. So I started laughing because I lost. I was like, this is funny. I lost the remote, whatever. And then I sat down and I kind of just went like this for a minute. And all of a sudden I was like, I can't keep my eyes open. I need to go. I either need to lay down on the couch or I need to go up to bed. Like, I can't even barely move. And I was like, so I said to the dog, I said, come on, I'm going up to bed. So I run up to bed, I jump in bed, and I'm like, it's gotta be like 11:30. Like, the whole night must have just passed me by while I was sitting here. And I took him at 6:10.
6:10, okay.
6:10. I put the TV on and I looked at the clock and it was 7:23. I thought like 5 hours went by, and I'm laying there and I was like, and then I started getting paranoid. I was like, I think I left the refrigerator open. I got to go down because I got water, and I think I left the fridge open. I was like, no, I probably closed it. I was like, I should be able to see the light all the way upstairs, like around the corner from the fridge if the fridge is open, I was like, don't worry about it, no problem. And then I was like, then I started getting nauseous. I was like, I probably shouldn't have eaten before I did this. This is problem. And I'm like laying there, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the wrong side because if I throw up, the garbage can's on the other side. So I had to like flip over, and then I just was boom. I was just out for like 3 hours, and I woke up at like 10:30, and I was like, I didn't know. I had no idea where I was. I like cotton mouth. I couldn't talk. And I was
sounds like you took too much. Like,
I was like, did I now? And then I was like, and then so earlier that day, some people were over my house because I'm getting rid of all the stuff in the house. And one of my fiance's friends was taking this big. It used to be my toy box as a kid. This big box, and we had brought it out to her car, and it wouldn't fit in the car. So we brought it back, and it was on the front porch. And I was laying there and I heard this noise and I said, I think somebody's stealing that box off the porch. It's like the size of like a love seat. It's like a big wooden box. And I hear this, I go, shit, somebody's stealing that box and there's nothing I could do about it. And I was like, the hell with it, who cares? And then like I heard a noise and I was like, I think I left the garage open. I think somebody's coming in the house. I was like, I went through all the emotions. It was crazy. And then then like at 11, I passed out again. And I woke up like every hour on the hour, just like just in a fog. Like, is it morning yet? Like, where the hell am I? Can I eat breakfast? I'm hungry. And it was just it was fun. I still have some more. I gotta do that again.
maybe
How was
half the dose?
How was the next day?
I was groggy in the morning. This was Columbus Day. It was the Sunday of Columbus Day weekend. So I was off Columbus Day. I was groggy in the morning until I got up and I had breakfast, and then I was fine. There was no hangover or anything.
The edibles are weird because, like, if you get it right, it's great, but if you do too much, it's absolute insanity. I remember.
I think that's what it was.
Some of these ones that I bought, they were supposed to help me sleep. Like, I felt like, first of all, they didn't help me sleep, and then it felt like, if you take an Ambien, like the next day I was just like in a fog all day.
Yeah, that marijuana is similar to alcohol. Like, it helps you fall asleep, but you get less REM sleep. Like, it's like
it knocked me out quick, but for like 3 hours.
It's not good. It's not good quality. Sleep.
When I lived with you, you went away for the weekend, and me, Matt, and Anthony were like, okay, let's make some brownies. And so I put an eighth in the brownie mix, and Matt was like, you're supposed to put in a quarter. And I'm like, I'm really pretty sure it's an eighth. He's like, no, we're not going to feel anything. You got to put in a quarter. I was right, because I put in a quarter, and I was so messed up. I was like too groggy to do anything but lay down, but too messed up to sleep. So I was just staring at the ceiling.
That's what I was doing. Yeah.
Matt left.
And it was funny because the girl that gave him to me, when she gave him to me, she's like, they're going to knock you out. Like, don't worry. Just relax. If you get freaked out, don't call the police. Call me. I'm like, why would I call the police? She's like, well, you never know. She's like, you might call an ambulance. I was like, I'm not going to call an ambulance. I'll be fine. She goes, just call me if anything goes wrong.
Matt almost did that. So I'm awake all night. 5 a.m, the phone rings. I answer on like the first ring because I'm still awake. And he's just like, dude. I'm like, what? He's like, are you still fucked up? And I'm like, very. He's like, I've had the phone in my hand for the last 4 hours. And I was about to call my mom to take me to the hospital. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know. Try and go to sleep. I'm in the same exact position as you. And he called me at like 9 a.m. He's like, are you still fucked up? And I'm like, yes, I am. So don't do a quarter between 3 people. I don't know what happened to the third guy. He locked himself in his bedroom and didn't come out for 24 hours, not even go to the bathroom. So I have no idea what he did in there. And then the last time I did it, I was so messed up. I was literally forgetting how to breathe. And then like hyperventilating and just going through that cycle over and over for like hours.
Last time you did like marijuana at all?
Yeah. I think that's what gave me the central apnea. I think it like rewired my brain, and like I just don't send signals to like sleep. Breathe, I mean. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff with like, heavy use, but I don't know if you ever did it that consistent. Like, did you?
Edibles?
You were like
no.
on and off.
Edibles, weed?
Yeah, weed in general.
Yeah, like every day for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I lived with you for like 7 of those years.
Yeah, well, I didn't know how much you were doing.
Well, I wasn't doing a lot each day. Like, I always had a very low tolerance. So, like,
yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell when someone, like people do it. You don't notice the difference.
Well, I was always the type where I would do like one hit from a bowl, and I'd be stoned for like 5 hours. So I wasn't one of those like, my friends would buy like $50 worth every other day. It would last me like a month. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't really know about I thought, I didn't know if it was like on the weekends or, because I mean, I was working a lot most of it. So
you were doing like 28-hour shifts and like insane stuff.
I figured, like, because I'd only see you on the weekend, so I was like, yeah, it's the weekend. So
yeah, no, I would take a puff after work, and then I'd be like stoned until I went to bed. But like,
Yeah, I mean, people who did it like regularly for, years, a lot, people can have like long-term effects from that.
hmm I don't know. The people I hung out with smoked a ridiculous amount, and they don't seem to be.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's there. It's not everyone too. It's like everyone gets different reactions.
My friend Kate in college, after like 2 years of knowing her, she's like, you've never seen me not stoned, like literally ever. And I was like, I've hung out with you at like 8 a.m. She's like, yeah, stoned. Like, she just rolled out of bed and like smoked. I'm like, okay, that's a little extreme. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that going to class or like meetings.
Yeah,
or,
it's hard. I mean, I don't know how people do that. I
uh,
guess like eventually, like you can be somewhat function, like people who are just function, like get less effects but still get some of the effects.
it doesn't sound like fun though.
Yeah,
Like the last thing I want to
that's
do when
what.
I'm stoned is like learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bri, did you have like an inkling to like open up a book and learn shit?
No, no. One of my fiance's friends gave me some that I'm supposed to take during the day. She said it'll be like she said it was like the way she described it was like taking Adderall. She's like, you'll be up and energetic and all that. And I'm like, that's the last thing I want. But
I think people oversell it too. I mean, it is what it
yeah,
is, but
yeah,
people think it has more effects than it actually.
yeah, yeah.
Have you ever
Like
tried to
I think
work
most people are
on
familiar
weed?
with what, it does, and that's what it usually does.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think now that it's like, people can sell it, they're like, oh, you can use it for this, you can use it for that. So,
Yeah.
I think every um, like tobacco shop sells weed out of the back now. And
yeah,
like,
I mean, I guess, I mean, it's a moneymaker, so
well, it's not. You need to get a license to do it, but I think they
yeah,
all
I mean, if
just.
you get the
I
license.
think they all
I
just
hear
sell it out of
there's
the
like
back.
a ton of fake shit I hear in like New York everywhere.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot
Yeah.
a lot of like yeah, a lot of scammy stuff going on. Some of those weed places.
I believe it. I mean, there was a lot of like shit weed going around when it was you had to buy it from like a guy in a dark alley.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah.
I think part of the problem is it's still technically illegal federally, right? So like, the businesses that do it, like they have to do something weird with the money, so it attracts like weird places. Like, most places that sell it are like they're not the same as your regular,
Yeah, it's all cash
right?
only and
Yeah.
I'd
So,
show my ID like 3 times to get into the place. And,
yeah,
so I
it's
mean, I think it's legalized, but it's like quasi illegal, from a financial point of view. So it's like,
yeah. Yeah, because like there's banks that like won't take.
yeah. So
I mean,
I think that like promotes like the businesses that do it, like they're weird. They're like,
you have to
they're
yeah.
not
like
doing
money
things right.
launder pretty much.
Yeah.
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 So it's a weird country where it's like the state's in the country and that's legal, but the actual country says no. So
Yeah.
No, I mean
it's
it makes
weird.
no sense. I mean, I think they just haven't like done it because it should just be legal federally because it is,
It will be once these like 90-year-olds get out of here. I mean,
yeah, which is like
Yeah.
half of
Yeah.
Congress.
yeah, like
Yeah.
10 more years, I like we'll get younger people in, it'll be legal.
I
I
mean
mean,
that senator that just died, she had like full-blown dementia like for years.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I don't get why you'd want to work. I mean, into
Makes
your
no
90s,
sense.
like I'd stop working tomorrow.
Hey, yeah, I want to retire in like 5 years. I'm pretty
Yeah.
much close to done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I've been done for a while.
yeah.
We got some emails. The brinkofsanity@gmail.com. You'll never guess who wrote this email. Lorenzo.
Loren, I was gonna say Leon for some reason. I don't know why.
That would be weird if Leon wrote.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just listening to the Valve Cap episode, December 2016, which starts off with Mark talking about cars that notify you when the tire pressure's low. Jay asked to write in because he thought that Mark was driving some sort of super high-end Jew car. So I'm still on your side there, Jay. It's nearly 7 years since that episode, and I'm yet to see this in Australia. So do you guys have cars like that?
That tell you the pressure?
Where they let you know when the tire pressure's low?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's pretty standard, I thought.
Yeah.
Was that standard 7 years ago? Or was
I had a 2012 car and it would do that, but it wouldn't tell me which tire, which was
I
annoying.
think like I think 7 years ago, some like maybe not all cars had it, maybe
Mhm.
half.
Okay.
Or
Some of them, like the older cars, it would tell you like low tire pressure, but it wouldn't say which one. But then now some
yeah,
of the
mine doesn't say which one. Or
yeah,
actually, it
now the
might.
newer cars will tell you which one.
Yeah, actually, it does. But my previous car wouldn't tell me which
Yeah.
car it was, which tire it was.
I know my wife's car does tell you.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think
but
you
it's
need like
like
a
new.
I don't think it's like a fancy car thing anymore. Most cars have it, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's like seatbelts.
I'm gonna go with 7 years ago. It was a fancy thing,
Yeah,
and Mark's just super
could have
rich.
been.
It's funnier that way.
There's a lot of stuff like I think state laws. You have to have like a backup camera, which is like a premium feature. Now I think all cars have. Newer
Oh,
cars
really?
have
I
it.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I think newer cars have to have it. I think New York State at least.
Hmm.
So Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, it's time for a new segment. Decipher the Australian slang." All right, I like this idea.
Okay.
This week's word is bottle-o. Pronounced, bottle. I said it right. Bottle-o. It's spelled BOTTL-O. Pronounced
Okay, that's what I
bottle-o.
thought. So,
Bottle-o.
We have to
I
guess
think
what it is.
Yeah. What does bottle-o mean? Bottle-o.
bottle opener.
Bottle-o. I'm trying to like say it like in different speeds, see if it sounds like something else. Bottle-o.
Oh.
Bottle-o. It's like Cheerio. Bottle-o. Is that when
Seems
you
like an insult to a woman.
insult to? Is it when you try and take a sip of your drink and then you realize it's empty?
Is that really a slang term? Is there a term for that?
God, I feel like
Yeah, hey, that's
Is
actually
there
that
an
makes sense.
American term for that?
that's just like, oh shit, give me another beer.
Bottle dough.
Americans aren't very eloquent,
Yeah.
so we probably wouldn't have a.
I think we use less and less syllables over time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we could do a whole show on some of the language and typing and words that I just don't understand. That A, what they mean, and why people say them.
Yeah,
Well, now, yeah, with like the internet culture, like you can like have a conversation that I understand like none of. It's all
Yeah,
like abbreviations and stuff.
like finna.
yeah. That's the word I was going to ask you. What the fuck does that mean?
I had to look.
Finna.
I had to look that one up. That means I am fixing to, which is
What is
this
that?
is also
What does that
slang
mean?
for like I'm
There's
going.
not even an A. There's not even an A in that phrase.
That's slang for I'm going to.
Okay.
What? What is?
Fixing
Um,
to. I'm fixing
Yeah,
to is
yeah.
like
I was kind of half joking. I kind of knew what that meant.
I
but
think fixing to is kind of like a southern slang, and then finna is
Yeah.
like the ethnic version of fixing to. So, like, if we were gonna hang out this weekend, like an hour before, I'd go to my wife and be like, "I'm finna go over Bry's house later," and then she'd be like, "Don't come back
What
if
the
you're
fuck
gonna
did you
talk
say?
like that."
You
Yeah,
don't ever talk to me
Yeah.
again. We're done.
Pack your suitcase. You could stay there.
That was the last straw.
I saw that today on Twitter, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's like it means like generations can't talk to each other. Like if that's how people are gonna
It's getting
just start
closer and
making
closer to
things
just grunts. It is.
up.
Yeah. It's not like we're that old that we would be that old.
Yeah, no.
And it's not like we didn't grow up with the internet. We did.
Yeah.
You know.
I think some of it is like, like I'm sure we all text, but we don't text like as much as like some of the, like if you're a teenager, like that's all they do. So it's like I think they start talking like they're texting.
I mean, I've seen
know
this
the most-
one twice. It's ION, ion, which is supposed to be short for I don't.
Oh yeah, you
What?
ranted about that last time.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's like doesn't even. It's one thing if you could sort of figure it out based on like what it sounds like, but like that doesn't even make any sense.
No.
The new most annoying thing for me is like if I text somebody, instead of answering, they just like they hit like the emoticon, like the
Emojis.
emphasis button or whatever. It's like I
Oh,
text.
I have an issue with that. Like now, I don't know. I have an Android phone. I'm sure it's like similar to iPhones if you guys have iPhones, but like it actually can happen by mistake. Like when someone like texts you, like there's like these options
Yeah.
that I don't want to press, but I guess there's probably a way to disable it. But like I've done that by accident where I like hit the emoticon and I didn't mean to.
Yeah. No, that's but like there's somebody that I text all the time. I'll text him and he won't answer. He'll just hit the like laugh button or like the
Yeah.
emphasis
Well,
button. It's
I
like,
wonder if like they see that and they like got used to it and like, oh, this is easier.
mm, I don't know.
Bottle-O. Any other guesses on what Bottle-O?
Do we have the answer?
Answer below. Bottle-O. A Bottle-O is a liquor store in Australia. Example, I'm just going to go down to the Bottle-O to grab some Tooheys. So now, Lorenzo, you have to write us back and tell us what the hell Tooheys are.
Yeah.
So if you're going to grab some bottles, you would be like, I'm going to the bottle to get some bottles.
Well, I mean, when I first moved to Boston, they would call it the Packy, and I had no idea what the Packy was. And that's short for package store. I guess at some point in Boston's weird history, the liquor came in packages. Maybe that's a prohibition thing. I don't know. I just say
They're
stuff.
package stores in Connecticut.
They call it a package store? Connecticut's weird. It's like half New York, half Boston.
Yeah. It's the shitty half of both.
Oh, Andrew joined in the chat. Thank you, Andrew. It's a type of beer. So you're off the hook, Lorenzo. Tooheys is a type of beer. It's good that 90% of our listenership is Australian. So we got one writing us a confusing email, and then somebody else comes in and just answers it.
Big hit in Australia.
I mean, Australia is a different country, so like it makes sense that they have their own like different words, even though it's English.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
they would be just as confused as with Packy. I mean, I'm just as confused with Packy.
Yeah.
My first week in Boston, I heard Packy and Bubbler, and I didn't know what either one was. If you don't know, Bubbler is a water fountain.
I've heard that before.
I think I knew that.
I think I forgot it, but I have heard that before.
Patrick writes, "Congrats on the milestone, you legends." Thank you, Patrick. That was
What'd we do?
400 episodes.
Oh,
This podcast
20 years.
Which episode is this?
403.
Nice.
This podcast remains a vastly underappreciated stalwart. Frankly, it's the best one out there for my ears anyway. Many comedy podcasts come and go, but I've been listening for a good while now, and I could comfortably say this is one of the funniest, and for me, the best part of all, it's the least try-hard one out there. Not an ounce of pretense about you fuckers or any of you guests. Keep going and don't change a thing. Thank you, Patrick. That was very nice.
That's really nice.
Emails like that are what keeps the show going. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. Like every time I'm like, should I quit the show? And I'm like, you know what? We get some every 6 months we get a really nice email like that. And I'm not gonna quit the show. So bubbler is what we call it in Australia. How the hell did Boston and Australia get the same weird slang? I'm very confused now. Okay. Did you guys?
Is it British? I don't know. I wonder if they say that in England.
Brits just spread their stupid slang throughout the globe.
I guess so.
Goddamn Brits. How would you feel if I told you that somebody went 18 years without a pay increase? Would you feel like bad for that person, or you don't care?
I would feel bad because they probably didn't realize that they're making less each year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What if I told you that person was Vanna White, who basically just walks back and forth and makes $55,000 per episode? Does that change your?
I didn't care the first time. I didn't get the answer.
I just thought it was a everyone's like pay Vanna what she's worth. And I'm like, is she worth more than $3 million a year to like walk back and forth?
Maybe when she's turned the letters instead of just pressing them.
I don't even think she presses them anymore. I think they just light up.
Oh yeah, they're like automatic.
Yeah, I think she just walks up to them now. So she's actually doing less work.
I guess like she was making a lot more when she started, and now she's still making a lot, but maybe I guess it's less worth less.
I mean, it's literally pointless though. Like, would the show be any different if they just showed the board and then the letters lit up? Or would you be like, I don't like this show anymore because somebody didn't walk back and forth?
I would not watch it at the same frequency that I don't watch it now. So
I know. As soon as Jeopardy goes off, I like change the channel as quick as possible.
I got to get back into Jeopardy. I haven't. My dad and I used to watch it every night, and then when the writer's strike happened, we stopped, and I haven't gotten back into it yet.
I haven't watched it in a while either. I feel like I'm still like.
I feel like it's gotten easier, or I'm just smarter now, or something. I don't know. I remember like 15 years ago, it used to be impossible, and now like I seem to know more than I don't know on it now.
I mean, they may like change the difficulty to get like more people to watch it.
Yeah,
You know,
It depends on
when
the
it was too
episode
hard.
for me.
Yeah.
I'll go through an episode where I know like two things the whole time, and then I'll watch another one where I know like 2 or 3, 4 categories.
Yeah, and it's also dependent on the categories too. I
Yeah.
mean, you get Shakespeare, nobody gives a shit, but
Yeah, and like for me, it's like if it's like a religious one with like Christian stuff, it's like I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Or it'll be like 17th century British authors. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go get something to eat. Clearly
Yeah.
not getting a single one of those.
Yeah.
Anything with geography, I'm out.
I'm pretty good at geography.
Yeah, that one is like sometimes I can get those.
I cost the trivia team the championship one week because it was name the top 5 countries with the most surface area, coastal line. And I said Peru, which is a really bad answer. And the number one answer was Philippines because they have all those islands. So now I know it.
Oh, I didn't know that actually. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they have like 1 million
What?
islands, so they have like the most coast.
What trivia team were you on?
It was like a bar. It was like a happy hour bar thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like a bunch of coworkers and I went, and yeah.
Those are pretty fun.
Yeah. My younger days, I used to do more stuff that wasn't sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, how quickly can I get home and sit down and not be doing anything?
Yeah.
Let's see. We got another Lorenzo email. Hey guys, listening to episode 284.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, me too.
I like 285 better.
It's also a good one. This is where Jay first started dabbling in Ethereum, which was around the $300 mark. Currently sitting at about $2,500. I think it's at $1,600 right now, and this email is only from a month ago. Did Jay end up hanging on to his Ethereum? So I hung on to 15 Ethereums, which is good, but I took 300. I took 3 Ethereum, and I put it into Unicoin Gold because it was a sports betting crypto backed by Mark Cuban, and sports betting was about to go legal. So I was like, this is like a perfect storm. This thing is going to go nuts. I used 3 Ethereum, which at the time was like $1,200 worth of Ethereum, and I got thousands of them. It came out at I think it launched at like 19 cents each. So I had like thousands of these things. Within a month, it went down to less than a penny, and I think it folded, and I literally lost every single penny of that. So
Oh no.
yeah, that wasn't great.
I mean, I think most of those, that's what's happened. It's like you took a chance, but there was definitely a chance that was going to happen.
Yeah, I just thought, like Mark Cuban's smart and the legalized
I mean, you could
gambling.
have like been like retired too. Like you could have made millions.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if this blows up, like, this could be it. Clearly did not work out that way, but yeah, I tried.
It's worth the risk. I mean, if you believe, like, there was a shot, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't think crypto has moved at all in like a year.
No, it's just checking my Coinbase account, and I haven't checked it in months. And I think the last time I checked it, I had like 5,500 in there, and now I got 4,600. So
When was the FTX collapse? Because I feel like since then, like things have just everyone kind of lost confidence.
Well, it's that,
yeah,
and we're in like crazy hyperinflation, and we're in like either a recession or depression right now, and people aren't going to invest in things like, well, investing in general. I mean, the stock market's down, crypto's down. People don't have extra money to just throw into these things.
Yeah, I mean, crypto was always tied to, the financial situation. People had extra money.
In theory, when the stock starts going down, you would think people would sell and then put it into crypto as like an alternate plan. But right now, it's like directly tied. Market goes down, crypto goes down. So
I think it's a confidence thing too, because
yeah,
like if
yeah,
you feel like stocks are risky, then you may feel like crypto's even riskier.
which is
yeah. I
true.
mean,
So
people don't even really know what crypto is.
Yeah, yeah. So I
You go
think
to
it'll
like,
go up. I just think we're gonna have to wait for the entire market to like recover, which could be another couple of years.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
mean, the concept, like, it was supposed to be a way to exchange things without using money,
yeah.
but then like the value was volatile, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So this might be what it's supposed to be, like it has a certain value and it stays there for a long time.
The problem
This actually
is
makes,
the fees when you use it. Like I
yeah,
have $50 in an Ethereum wallet, which is different from just keeping it in like one of those, then like a Coinbase or something.
exchanges. Yeah,
And
right.
to get my $50 out of the wallet, there's $40 in fees.
yeah,
So like
Yeah.
it's just stuck there basically. Like
yeah.
So,
'Cause
I
I was
mean,
going to convert my Shiba Inu, and it was like the fees would eat the whole thing up.
yeah.
that's what I did.
So
I put
that's
$50 into it, and I was gonna buy the Shiba, and to buy it, it would be $40 of fees. So I'm like, well,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna leave the 50 in there now.
yeah,
it seems like a flawed concept in that way, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like if it's supposed to be a currency,
They have to
that
fix
should be the
that.
case.
Anything more
Yeah.
than $1 is just
It
out of
should
the
be
question.
it should be percentage based. Like,
yeah. Like tax.
yeah.
Yeah, but like not 90%.
Yeah,
No, I mean it sounds like it's probably a fixed fee, like no matter how much you took
No,
out,
it's
it'd be the
not.
same thing.
It's not
Oh, it's
fixed.
not?
No, it's
So
based
why
on
is it nice?
traffic and how many people are like working on it. Like I don't know. There's some people that are like that's their job, I guess.
Okay.
And so because like it fluctuated, it never went below 30, and it went up to like 48. So like
So wait, if you took out 100, would it be 80 or
no, it would still be
probably be like 60.
yeah. It does go up with the amount you transfer, but
yeah.
not like directly proportionate. It's a
So
weird
it's probably both then. It's like a fixed amount and a percentage amount.
Yeah,
yeah, and a traffic amount. Like it goes. It's like
Yeah.
surge pricing on Uber.
Yeah.
Like
So and plus
yeah,
search pricing. Yeah, it's like the worst of all. We'll
yeah,
just
it's the worst of everything. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that like you have no idea what's making the price fluctuate, like that's even more frustrating.
Did you see this is like a New York thing, but did you see that they're going to charge like $23 to go into the city, like like starting next year sometime, like drive into the city?
Yeah, they're like complaining that people are leaving the city, and then they're making it impossible to like live in the city.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to go to Brooklyn on the weekend? That'll be like $46 in
I
tolls
mean, I
you mean
thought it
like
was more.
like on the road, like a toll on the roads, or like on the subway, or
on the bridge.
All the crossings. So I think
oh,
instead of having like some bridges be a certain amount, like they're all going to be, I think, like 23 instead of like some bridges didn't have any fee, and then some of them had.
yeah. I remember when I went to Jersey a couple months ago. that freaking George Washington Bridge, man, it was like $25 to go over that. I mean, how many
Yeah.
cars go over that a day?
Yeah.
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 That thing must be making so much money.
And no matter when you
Yeah, I was
go,
a
it
little-
takes like an hour to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little confused about that because like some of them you have to pay anyway, so I don't know if that was going to be like instead of that or in addition. But I also like thought it was supposed to be for like during the day, but then some of the hours, like on the weekends, it was 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I was like, that's weird that it's more hours on the weekend.
The whole thing's messed up. Andrew said FTX collapsed November of 2022. It's almost a
Okay.
year ago.
That sounds about right.
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe it was that long ago. I would have
I would have
guessed.
guessed. I would have guessed like January of this year.
I was gonna say like April. I have no sense of time anymore.
Yeah, I thought it was longer actually for some reason, but
Some guy took a picture of a bunch of different items at Costco last year, and then he went back last week, and everything is marked up 75%. So I don't know where they're getting that 7% inflation from, but
I mean, I do feel like every time I go to a store, it's definitely more. I don't know about 75%, but it does feel like it's like 10% every time I go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll go to a place like a week apart, and it's like 50 cents higher. I'm like,
It's like 10% a week, which is still insane. That's like-
yeah. I can't wait to get like a 4% raise for my job this year. That'll be fun.
Yeah, like I remember last time I was doing my contract, like they were giving us a hard time about getting like 2.5% increase like per year. And it's like that's like I'm making less money each year, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of my last years at my last job, they gave me is either 1% or 0.5%, and I was just like, "Fuck you," honestly,
Yeah.
fuck you. I think they had one of those unannounced like salary cap per like position. So
Yeah.
my job position had like a cap that they didn't tell you about, and so once you hit that, it's like you get no raise.
I mean, like for me, like, it's not like it's a big deal for me in general, but it's like they do this to everybody. It's not like, it's like a uniform, like it's like, nope, we won't give you, inflation
Right.
increase.
Yeah. Not all of us are making like doctor salaries. We kind of need the inflation bump.
I mean, it's still like kind of like you're basically paying less, you're like, all right, sure, I'll make less next year. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not 18 years like poor Vanna.
Poor Vanna.
Yeah, for bad.
So let's pour one out for Vanna.
She should start an OnlyFans page.
She really struggled working 2.5 hours a week.
Yeah.
But they film all the episodes on the same day, so she works on like Monday.
Yeah.
Makes like $270,000, and then takes the week off. Yeah, I'll pour one out for her.
Good work if you can get it.
Was it?
I said good work if you can get it.
Yep. We got one more email,
Ooh.
and this one, 2 questions for Bry.
Uh-oh.
Question 1: is Bry still anti-hand jobs?
Yes.
Is there any reason you hate hand jobs?
I can do that myself.
Right, but then you don't have to.
I know what I like.
Doc,
I know what gets the job done. and-
So whoever wrote the question thought like, oh yeah, maybe he changed his mind.
maybe it came around on some
Yeah.
handies.
No, I know what gets the job done, and it's not worth trying to train someone to do it.
Look, sometimes sex is a lot of effort, and you don't feel like moving,
Yeah.
and they don't feel like moving. So they're like, well, why don't you just do that? What's your hand job policy, Doc? Are you denying? Are you turning down one if it's offered?
It depends on like what the alternatives are.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, there's a hierarchy. I would say, I would probably rank BJ's over sex.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not alone on that. So yeah,
No.
BJ's sex and then hand jobs. But if hand jobs is what's being offered, I'm a gentleman.
Yeah, it's better. It's better than nothing.
Who am I to turn one down? You know?
It's different. It's different. Like what Bry's saying, it's like it's not the same as
Well, no, Bri would literally just say, "No, don't do that." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Pretty
is
much.
like a tempo issue, like
Yeah.
you know, like the other person doesn't really understand.
Not everybody's good at it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I've experienced very good ones, and I've experienced very bad ones. I wouldn't think it's that hard, but some people don't get it.
Well, I think to be fair, it's like the other person, may not. I mean, there's experience, but there's also like, when you do it yourself, it's like you kind of know.
Yeah, I've
Like,
been doing it to myself for 20 years, and
yeah, so it's not going to be.
the girl's probably done it to 20 guys over 20 years, and everyone likes it differently. So
I guess it's like, when you're using your finger on a woman, like everyone
yeah,
is different. Everybody
it's a,
likes it
it's a, yeah,
completely
similar.
differently.
yeah, it's the same idea.
I remember like getting a new girlfriend, and like the old one was like liked it a certain way, and the new one's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like,
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
"This
that
worked
happens.
perfectly for like the last 6 months."
yeah, yeah. Some are inners, some are outers.
Yeah, some are soft, some are hard, some
Yeah.
some like a circular motion, some don't. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Okay, and second question.
Yes.
Back when yes, this isn't.
No. Yes, I'm ready for the question.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Sit up flat right here.
Back when The Shape of Water was released, Bry gave a very entertaining movie review, which led to a possible segment where Bry was to provide more movie reviews. Does he have any new ones for us?
That was
Oh.
that was one of the worst days of my life. I had to watch The Shape of Water and The Phantom Thread in the same day. That was just awful.
Bry
I
had
haven't
the-
seen many. I haven't seen many movies lately, so I don't think I have any new movie reviews.
Andrew said you answered the hand job question with pretty much the exact wording as you did last time.
He's consistent.
Yeah, if Bry's anything, he's consistent.
Yeah, well, my opinion hasn't changed then. Trying to think if I've seen any movies lately. I saw Oppenheimer. It was okay. We talked about it on the last show. I saw Indiana Jones. It was, I mean, every Indiana Jones movie is exactly the same.
What is there, 5 of them now? Or 6?
Yeah, I think there's the 5th one.
I haven't seen the 4th one. Or the 5th one.
I don't think the 4th. I don't think anyone's seen the 4th one. Everybody hated that one generally.
Yeah.
I haven't
yeah.
seen it. I haven't really seen anything lately. I'm trying to think if I have.
Sticking more to like TV shows? Because your Shape
I
of
think-
Water review was pretty awesome. You just shredded the shit out of that movie.
It was just a horrible movie. It was just horrible.
I want you to, before next show, I want you to watch a movie that's not good. Well, I think the funny part is that people were like,
It's just like you just watch a random movie and it probably won't be good.
yeah. Well, I mean, the funny part is that people were like praising that movie.
Oh yeah, it won the Oscar. It
Wasn't-
was
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like one of those critically acclaimed.
yeah.
Wasn't
I
Birdman
don't
the
think
same way?
Birdman what?
Wasn't that the same way? Everyone was praising it. Mark saw it and he hated it so much.
It was okay. I didn't hate it. I like the concept where it was all one shot.
The whole movie was one shot.
That's the way they made it look.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
In 1917, it's like that too. I'm trying to think. Jeez, thought I saw a bad movie. I must have saw a bad movie recently. What did I see?
Well,
There's a lot of bad movies on Netflix.
Netflix is definitely quantity over quality.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad movies on Netflix just because like I'm lazy and I'll just start watching it and I don't even know the names of half of them.
Did I see the? Let me look up the Irishman. That was dreadfully bad. It's 3 hours I'll never get back in my life.
I
Yeah,
thought it was too long. I think it was like okay.
I saw 3 hours and just bailed. Like, nope. I watched the new Avatar, which is 3 hours, but over the course of like 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah, I haven't even tried to watch that. I don't even think the first one I really liked as much as everybody else.
Yeah, it's visually impressive.
Yeah, yeah, it was like, I appreciated like how different it was, but the movie itself was like whatever.
That's the second one too. Just replace air with water. I think they can do fire for the next one. Question: now that Bry is getting married, why did Bry change his stance on never getting married?
Um,
Hand jobs.
I just, you know what? I'm just too old to keep fighting the good fight.
He got slowly broken down.
Yeah, I'm just a broken down old man now, and I just, yeah, she won. She beat me.
All right, persistence works, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
mean, a lot of stuff is couple oriented, like in the world. So, like at some point, you're like, might as well try this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine dating right now can be that fun.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
got to be horrible. It's just,
How's your dating experiences been?
Yeah, it's hard. It's like, I mean, a lot of it, like my work schedule plays a role, but like everyone's just so like different, and it's like hard to, you know, like find someone that's like on the same page,
yeah.
at
And
work.
probably everybody now has kids because
Yeah,
if you're
at
gonna,
our age,
yeah,
everyone probably has a
Yeah.
shitload of baggage.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you're,
mean, like the dating apps, like at our age, it's kind of like, they're like, oh, they try to get people within like 1 or 2 years of your age. So it's like, that's different for women usually.
yeah.
Getting like divorced women or women with
Yeah.
kids. Yeah, that can't be great.
I think like peak I think like five. I think like the 2 years probably like before the pandemic, like 2017 to like 2020 would probably been like the if I could pick a time to like be dating, it probably would have been like that time.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and
there was like a time after the like, after like it was crazy pandemic time that people were like, kind of stuck,
yeah, people
you
were
know,
looking and everything.
while.
But I just
Yeah.
mean
So,
I I just mean like societal wise, like everything is just so like everybody who goes on a date now has to post it on social media. Oh, he didn't pay for my fries, or and it's like all date shaming and like just the fact that we're using the word shaming everywhere and like all these girls they see all these stupid bitches like on Instagram and whatever, so they think they should be treated like queens like right off the bat, no matter how big of a cunt they are and all that stuff, and it's just got to be
Did you see that bitch that
exhausting.
wouldn't get out of her car because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, like
First of all, he had a reservation at a fancy restaurant, and she was so late they lost their reservation.
yeah,
So he took her to the Cheesecake Factory, which is good, by the way. And,
yeah.
and she filmed herself in the car refusing to get out. And I'm like,
Like
that sounds like
fuck you.
a meal's a
that sounds
meal.
like
I mean,
that sounds like someone who just wanted to make a scene.
yeah,
Like she wasn't interested in the date. She just wanted to, you know,
Yeah,
or
complain
like
about it.
the last episode I was on, there was that one about the guy wanted to take the girl for ice cream, and she's like, "Oh, you're not serious." Like, fuck you. I would
right.
go for ice cream.
We have to go to a Michelin star restaurant on our first date.
Yeah. What's
I mean,
wrong with
it's
getting an ice cream cone at walking and talking?
Right.
it's hard like to be being the one planning the thing because it's like, everyone's so different. Like, you could end up like somewhere too fancy or, it's like, I don't
Bri,
know.
I don't know why you'd pick 2017 to 2020. Like, I'd go back like 10 more
Well,
years.
it was sort of like when did Me Too start?
Around then, I think.
It's probably a little before that though, because the girls were much more like before like OnlyFans, like when you could actually see tits on the internet without having to pay for it. Now everybody just hides behind a paywall and all that stuff. Girls were a lot sluttier like around that time.
I'd go back to like 2007.
Well, and also the availability more of like now, like there's so many apps and online dating, and
Yeah, I mean, I think the apps change things too, because like
you can go on
people,
like any website and try to pick
because
somebody up, and
I think like before, like the apps were like sort of mainstream. People were, I mean, there were still apps, but people, you know, went out more to meet people. Whereas
No, there
now, I
was no,
think
there
they,
was in 2007 there was no apps. There was dating sites, but there was no
yeah,
dating
yeah,
apps.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I mean, they were like, you know, internet things, but you know, it wasn't. It was like a fringe thing, or
yeah,
like you'd be on one to like, you know, it wasn't
yeah.
a
You
main
wouldn't tell
way.
anybody. Oh, how'd you meet? Oh, we met at the store. No, we really
Yeah,
met on, whatever.
I got a
so I
shitload of
think
dates through the dating sites. I definitely missed out on the app stuff though.
Yeah,
I think because people feel like they could always fall back on, you know, meeting people through apps, which is like a lot harder than people, you know, make it out to be. But like they don't try as hard like in other ways. So, you
yeah.
know,
Like Tinder, like when Tinder started, it was like a huge hookup site. Now it's just all women with kids looking for their soulmates, that kind of thing. Like right before the pandemic, everybody was whoring it up.
Hmm.
I mean, I also think all these like, you know, apps like they kind of figured out like algorithms to like make money. So then it's like all, you know,
Yeah,
like it's not as functional as they used to be. It's
yeah.
all like, you know, and it makes sense. They want to make money, but
Andrew said he met his wife on a paid dating site, not a free one. So I got most of my dates on Lava Life, which it was like you can match with somebody, but if you wanted to talk with them, you needed like credits. And
Right.
like a credit would give you like a half hour of like messaging back and forth or something.
Yeah.
I also tried Match.com, which was like a monthly subscription, and it was expensive.
yeah,
And
yeah, that one.
you could only see people that they through their algorithm would match with you. And 1 month they said we have no matches for you. And I was like, you're going to charge me $30 and not show me
Yeah,
one
no, I
person's
was on that
profile?
for a short, like a month or two, and I didn't like it at all.
No, I dumped that real quick. I was like, fuck you guys.
Now, when he said paid, like, is that something that's like has a free version and a paid version, or just is only paid? Because there's difference.
I'm willing to bet it was Match.com. That was,
Yeah,
Yeah, because a lot of those like you're free to join, but you can't. It's free to join, but you can't
yeah.
do anything. You can't look at anybody. You can't message
Well,
anybody, and then you get all the spam bots that'll message you so
Mhm.
that you'll
yeah.
pay to get the credits or whatever, and then it's all just fake shit.
What I don't
eHarmony.
like is like it's not just like free or paid. It's like they don't really tell you. You know, it's hard to understand what part is free, what part is
Right.
paid. Make it so
eHarmony,
confusing.
that's what Andrew said. Well, oh, maybe eHarmony was the one that showed me no
That's the
matches.
one that has like the background check and everything, right? Isn't that the real extensive one?
That might have been the one that showed me nobody. It was either Match or eHarmony. I don't remember. One of those two
Yeah, I
screwed
don't
me.
think Match wasn't like that's a lot like you know um I think it might be Harmony. I think
Yeah,
that one they really tried to like
yeah.
But
match free or something.
now there's like niche how do you say that niche dating sites like there's like
FarmersOnly.com.
data Jew and farmers
Yeah,
only and like old
yeah.
people dating and there's a million sugar daddy websites and just
I had a friend who went on
Grinder for
what's that?
nohandjobs.com.
Grinder, right?
Grinder. My friend went on Ashley Madison, where you just hook up with married people.
I did
Yeah.
that when I was single. I did that.
Really?
I had good times with that. Yeah.
Really? I don't know. I wouldn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that at all.
What?
I wouldn't like that at all.
I had some good times there
It just feels
a long time
scummy.
ago.
I don't know. I'd feel so guilty. It's like sneaking out and banging somebody's wife. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I know two people who did it, and neither of you guys have any regrets. So,
No,
Yeah.
no.
all right. Andrew said databrinkfan.com.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you'll find no matches.
It's just an Australian dating site.
The only catch is it's like long distance dating, I guess.
Yeah. So that we're caught up on emails.
It's 100% catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? Or we getting near bedtime?
Yeah, I actually have to run.
All right.
Yeah.
Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter youtube.com/@brinkofsanity. If you want to join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/crumpledbacon. And I think that's it, right? Brink of Sanity on Instagram. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining.
Thanks for having
No
us.
problem.
I like not starting the show around this time. It's nice.
It's like always Mark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when you said 8, I'm like, I was thinking maybe it'd be like, 8:30 if it was Mark, but
No.
Did he get his kids back from hostage camp or wherever they were?
Summer Jew camp or whatever they're
Summer
doing.
Jew hostage camp.
Yeah, they're back. So now he joined a pickleball league.
Oh yeah.
And so he can only do 2 things for himself like a week, I guess, and one of them is going to be the Knicks show, and the other one's pickleball.
so he can't do Brink anymore?
So screw Brink.
It's outrageous.
I know. Well, the pickleball league is going to be done right before I leave for Thailand for 2 weeks, so perfect timing.
Oh, when are you going to Thailand?
I'm going the November 16th. I'm going to go for 2 weeks. So I'm going in Thailand cold season, which is going to be like 80.
Yeah.
I'm never going in Thailand summer again. That was just...
Oh yeah, I can't believe you did that. Because I know with India it's the same thing. Like you can only go like certain months.
I didn't know. I was just like, oh, this is the 2 weeks I can take off of work. And I went and I'm like, I will just make sure this never happens again as long as I live.
Didn't your girlfriend like warn you?
She said it's going to be hot, but she definitely
Left out the
yeah, she definitely
unlivable hot.
Yeah, she downplayed like, holy shit, this is like in the
I
middle.
mean, if you live there all the time, you're kind of used to it. But coming from here, it's like I think your body gets used to like this climate. So
I think I get used to nothing because it goes from being too hot to being too cold. I'm just almost always
like in a
uncomfortable.
week,
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
2 weeks in the fall where I'm like, this is amazing. And it usually rains for like 10 out of those 14 days. And the same thing in the spring. As soon as it starts getting nice, it rains until it's too hot.
yeah, I feel like this year that didn't even happen. It was like too hot and then it's too cold.
Well, it's supposed to rain this weekend, which will be the 7th straight weekend it's going to rain.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah, the weeks. It's always nice during the week when we're working.
Beautiful day today. Stuck in the office.
Yeah.
Beautiful day today.
Yep.
Andrew says, thanks for the show, guys. Always happy when I see the notification asking for questions. I did forget to send that notification asking for questions, but thank you for joining and submitting questions in the chat.
And contributing to the conversation.
Yes, always appreciated. Rain is good for lawns, Jay. That is true, but if it was up to me, there would be no lawns.
Jay doesn't have a lawn, so it doesn't.
I hate lawns. I think they're a complete scam. But we did a whole episode on that. You should have moss instead of a lawn. Fuck lawns. All right. We're going to leave now before we start.
Another hour.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks,
Mark's
guys.
going to do the second hour. He'll be on at like 10:30.
Yeah, Mark's just putting his kids to bed. Like, all right, guys, let's do like 15 would you rathers. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end.